Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, and today we'll be discussing the first 4 questions of the Indian Olympiad qualifier in Junior Sciences, which is IOQJS paper of 2021. So this is a paper on January 17th, 2021. So let us start with its discussion. So we have the first question right here. The autonomous nervous system regulates involuntary functions of the body and can be subdivided into the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems. Both of these systems control the same group of body functions but have opposite effects on the functions they regulate. The parasympathetic nervous system prepares the body for intense physical activity like the fight or flight response. The parasympathetic nervous system has the opposite effect and relaxes the body and inhibits or slows many high energy functions. Which of these is an involuntary effect in the body brought about by the parasympathetic nervous system during a fight or flight response? Okay, so the question is basically half of it is telling us about the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems of our body. We don't care with that much. What we are more interested in is the symptoms of fight or flight response. Fight or flight response, is basically when we are confronted with a very scary, dangerous situation. For example, you are in front of a lion, let's say. So you will either fight with the lion or you will run away from the lion. So that is fight or flight. And all the symptoms of a fight or flight situation are the symptoms of fear. So loss of bowel or bladder control, which is basically peeing, so that is a symptom of fight or flight response. Then body shivers and pupil dilation is one. Pupil dilation is one where, let's say, this is your eye and this is your pupil. This will be the normal case, but sometimes it becomes very large, and that is pupil dilation. So the body does it in the fight or flight response. Our pupils get larger, that's pupil dilation. So first question was quite easy. Option number C will be the answer. Loss of bowel and bladder control, body shivering, and pupil dilation. Now we have the second question. When a person starts exercising, many body parameters change from the original state of rest. The trends in two such parameters are shown in the graph during the initial phases of the exercise. So you can see we have P and F, two lines, and one thing that we can observe is that in P, the whatever it is representing, it is remaining constant. So as it is constant, we need to look for something that will remain constant while exercising, and Q is declining or decreasing. So whatever Q will be representing, it will be decreasing. Now as you can see in the options, option number B, which is the breathing rate, it is representing P here. So P is remaining constant, and that is absolutely wrong. When you're doing some exercise, your body will be breathing heavily. Why? Because we need more energy, and to produce more energy we need more oxygen. So to maintain that oxygen level, so that is equal, you can see the oxygen level here is equal. To maintain this equal level of oxygen in our arteries, our body increases the breathing rate, and because of this increased breathing rate, the oxygen in our artery remains the constant, but because we are producing more energy for the high energy demanding tasks, the carbon dioxide in our body will also be increasing, because it is a byproduct of energy, of the process in which we are creating energy. So carbon dioxide in our veins will increase, and very simply, oxygen will be decreasing in our veins. So using this concept, we can understand the other ones, and if you read it, you will find that option D, which is the oxygen level in our arteries, it will remain constant because we are having an increased breathing rate, and the oxygen level in the veins will be decreasing because we have a Yes, because we are using more energy, so the oxygen will be utilized in a more effective manner by our heart. So that is question number 2, option number D. So now let's move on to question number 3. Description of 4 biological samples have been given inside of our table, and we have to figure out what organisms they are. Okay, so let me read the statements and then we'll create some inferences from them. First is the first organism can be viewed using a light microscope with a total magnification of 1000x. So it is quite small, and obviously it will be unicellular. Then it also possesses a cell wall. That means it must be a plant cell, and it does not possess mitochondria. So 2 things that we can infer from this statement is that the cell is small and it must be a plant cell, or maybe it can also be a bacteria, because bacteria can also have cell wall. So those are the inferences that we can create from the first part. Let's move on to second part. Can be seen using a light microscope with a total magnification of 100x, possesses cell wall and has a nucleus. So this is again a plant or a bacterial cell, and it is small as well, though it is a bit larger than the one that was discussed in our first part. Okay, then we have third one is it needs an electron microscope for viewing. That means it is very, very small and is found attached on the membrane system in the cytoplasm. Now by membrane system here we refer to the ER, endoplasmic reticulum, and we know that the endoplasmic reticulum has 2 kinds. One can be the SER, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, or it can be the RER, the rough endoplasmic reticulum. And the rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes on it, so they are attached to the membrane system, which is the endoplasmic reticulum, making the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So we have got a very straightforward answer here, ribosomes, because they are stuck to the endoplasmic reticulum in the cytoplasm, and they are also very, very small. So from the third part we get ribosomes. Now let us move on to the next part, which is the fourth part. It says that it needs an electron microscope for viewing. Again, it is a very, very small object. Also, it cannot replicate on its own and needs another specific cell for its replication. So this is a very important hint given by this part. It cannot replicate on its own. It needs another host cell or another cellular machine for it to replicate. And a very good example of this is a virus. So we know that viruses are the cells which cannot replicate them with their own cellular machine. They need another host cell to replicate. So very easily we have got the answer as virus for the fourth part as well. Now if we look at the options, we can see third and fourth must be ribosome and virus. Ribosome bacteria, no. Vacuole virus, ribosome bacteria, this is correct. And vacuole mitochondria, this is wrong. So the answer is option number C without any difficulties. Also we have bacteria and plant cell, which also match with our inferences from the first and second part. So third part is also done. Now let us move on to the last question for this video, which is the fourth part. Raja's mother collected all the kitchen waste every day and puts it in a pot. She then adds a few cut pieces of old paper and a spoonful of buttermilk and some soil. She covers the pots, then keeps it aside with intermittent mixing. After several days, it turns into a nutrient-rich compost to grow plant. In the context of decomposition in this composting process, find the most appropriate statement among the following. Okay, so this is also a question for which we need to read all the statements first, and then we can create inferences, or we can figure out the answer in that way. Okay, so first of all, let's figure out the things that have been added inside of the compost. So we have added old papers, buttermilk, soil, and these are the 3 things that we have been adding. Also kitchen waste. So 4 things: kitchen waste, buttermilk, old papers, and soil. Now if you see, paper acts as a good source of carbon. This is correct. Buttermilk gives the correct acidity to the mixture. Somewhat correct, but we cannot bank on it. Let's read other statements. Soil acts as a good source of inorganic nitrogen. Okay, while buttermilk is a good source of proteins. This is wrong. So second option is completely eliminated. Now let's go to the C part. Paper is a good source of carbon. Yes. Well, buttermilk is a good source of starter bacteria. Yes, we know it because it has lactobacillus. Which acts as a starter bacteria, which basically kicks off the process of decomposition inside of the compost pot. Then the last option is paper is a good source of fiber, while buttermilk is a good source of fat. Again, buttermilk fat somewhat, but it is basically skimmed. So option D also is not perfectly correct, so we'll ignore that as well. Now the best option from them is option number C. Paper is a good source of carbon, while buttermilk is a good source of starter bacteria. So easily we can get the option as answer as option number C. So that was it for this video. I'll be coming up with the further parts of this video as video series as well, in which we'll be solving the IOQJS paper for 2021. So hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Please like,